Hey everyone, it's Joy here for Reverse Confetti. Today I'm sharing an A2 size card using the Sunny Flower stamp set and the Deco cover panel die. This is the Sunny Flower stamp set, and so you can see you've got some layers there, and then the Deco cover panel die. So I want to start by stamping my flowers. Now, there is some detailed stamps on here that you can do, but I'm actually keeping these flowers quite simple. So I'm going to be using the solid stamp, the outline stamp, and one of the center pieces for the stamp. Like I said, there's multiples, so you can add more detail to this, but I am not going to be doing that. So I am using the color Dublin, I believe is the color for that first flower, Lemonade for the second flower, and then Melon for the third flower. Excuse me, Spring is for the first flower. That's the first color that I stamped. So I'm stamping the solid images first and just cleaning in between with some water. I'm using Simon Says Stamps Positively Saturated inks, so they do clean with water because they are water reactive. Then I'm going to line up this outline stamp, and I want to stamp one color darker. So the one color darker is the Dublin, and then for the yellow it's going to be Sunbeam, and then for the orange it's going to be Cantaloupe. So those are the colors that I am using for the outline. You could also do a black ink, an embossed ink, like a gold embossed ink, or even a white would be really, really pretty. So there's a lot of options to use with this stamp set. I really wanted to keep it kind of simple and almost flat in a way, but that's not a bad thing. So I just really wanted to keep the colors almost the same. And then I'm going to use that same outline for the center pieces. So I'm just going to add, sorry about my head being in the way, I needed to line up my circle. So I'm just adding that darker centerpiece in just a second, and it has just a little bit of a scalloped edge. So I'm going to place that. I'm so thankful for the Misty because it makes it so easy to do stuff like that. So I'm just going to place that in the center, and then just with my darker ink, stamp that one more time, and then just clean again between each of the stampings. And even though I have this sped up, you can see it does go really, really quickly. So this is a really simple, quick, and easy card to make. And I think that's because that stamp set is so easy to do. You don't have to color flowers. You just stamp that solid color ink. Then I have a sprout for these flowers or these leaves here, and I'm going to stamp these 4 times, and I am using the coordinating dies for all of these images. So I'm going to stamp this one more time because I do like to have a lot of greenery on my background. So I can just move it up on my scratch piece of paper and stamp that. Okay, here is the Deco cover panel die. I'm going to die cut that from some white cardstock. So I'm just taping that in place with low-tack tape and running that through my die cut machine. And now you can see we've got this really beautiful background. I thought it would be fun to add some color to the bottom, a little less than half. So I'm using Cheeky ink just to ink blend. And then you can see what this looks like ink blended and also just with the plain white cardstock. Plus having the ink blended area adds just more interest to this card in general. So I'm going to adhere my flowers and leaves kind of crossing between the top and the bottom. But I'm going to make sure when I line up some of my leaves and my flowers, it kind of blocks that line there. So you don't see that there's a line between the two colors. You could also achieve this with a strip of cardstock. But when I'm doing cards like this, I like to use these elements just to kind of obscure that harsh edge. So some of these have foam tape underneath. Some of them are just glued directly to the background. This is an A2 size panel, so you could trim it down if you wanted it smaller. I did not, and I kept it the same A2 size. So the sentiments, I have 2 sentiments that I'm going to be stamping, again, using my Misty. I'm using black ink to stamp them up, but it says, "Friend, you are the best," and that is from the Sunny Flower stamp set. And then I'll just use my paper trimmer to trim these out. And I like the pop of black against all of the colors on this background because there is no black anywhere else. Also, like a gold or a silver embossed sentiment would be just as beautiful. But I felt like black was really kind of the way to go. I love my sentiments to have dimension, so I will add some foam tape behind this. And then I can just pop it up on that upper part of the card and letting it overlap that flower just a little bit. So I'm going to line up the longest one first, that way I can center my other one above it and then have a little bit of a space and then just adhere that down. Okay, I'm going to attach this to a white A2 size card base, and I want to add some details to the flowers, so I'm using a white gel pen to achieve that, which is really quick and simple, but it just adds a little bit of extra something, and I'm going to add some dots to the centers of the flowers. And then I'm not going to add any sequins, but as you can see here, the little highlights sure help a lot. So thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I'll be back soon with another one. Thanks. Bye.